Hey everybody. Let me know if you can hear me and if you can see me. Okay, so I think I'm live. Please let me know if you can see me and hear me. What is that? Oh, things are popping up. This thing, hold music. Okay, so maybe it's on now. Okay, let me turn on the volume here. Hey, that was a little bit of Kitchen Girl on the claw hammer banjo. Let me know if you can see me and hear me. I think you can. Howdy, Jane. Hope you're doing well today. My husband, John, is on here. Hey, John. Jason's on here. Hey, Jason. Appalachian Intervention in Music. Howdy, how you doing? Is that one of the real skin banjo tops, Jane asks. It looks like it is, but no, this is a fiber skin synthetic head, and I have stained that with coffee grounds, okay? So what you do is, it's really kind of cool. Fiber skin will soak it up. So you obviously take everything off and take this off, the head there, and you just take your old coffee grounds with the coffee, you know, where there's still some drops of coffee in there, and you just kind of splatter it all over that and then sit it out in the sun. And you can do that a couple times. The more you do it, the darker it'll get. I think I did that like 3 times to where it dried, and then I wiped it off and dried again. And that was well over a year ago, and it's still really cool and old-timey looking. So I did that because the real skin heads are really kind of touchy when you're outside and stuff. The humidity and everything will make it sag. So it's just easier to use a fiber skin head on that. Let's see. Alfonso, hey from Colorado. Hope you're having a blessed day. I just recently changed the strings on my banjo. Now having issues with tuning stability. What can it be? Okay, so you change the strings and they're not staying in tune is what you're saying. First, I would make sure that they're not slipping on your poles. Make sure that the strings are not slipping. If you say you just recently changed them, if you changed them like within the first, just a couple days ago, you can pop them where you kind of stretch them and pull, because they will stretch a little bit, so you can stretch them. Also, are these metal or are they nylon or Nile gut type of strings? Because if they're nylon, that's going to take a while for them to become stable. So you just have to tighten them, wait a day, tighten them again, wait a day, tighten them again, and then once they get up there to their tension, then they should stay good. So not sure if it's metal or nylon there, Alfonso, but they're real string. So that means they're nylon, or you mean Nile guts? And not, or you, oh, steel string, sorry, I couldn't read that. Okay, so if they're not staying in tune, that's the first thing I would do. I'd check the poles, make sure they're not sliding on your poles. Make sure that your tuner is not, your pole is not moving. Depending on what kind of tuner you have, there's different ways to adjust that. If it keeps going out of tune, other than that, I don't know. I really don't know what it would be. After they stretch, they should be fine. And with metal strings, it doesn't take very long for them to stretch. I also have a dulcimer over here. So if anybody has any questions, let me know. I have two big announcements to make that I'll be making a couple times during this. The first is Kentucky Music Week. That is happening in June, so June 25th through 30th. I'm going to be at Kentucky Music Week teaching 3 banjo classes and 1 mountain dulcimer class. And that is 2 clawhammer classes, 1 2-finger class, and an intermediate, a beginner/intermediate mountain dulcimer class. So if you haven't signed up yet, you should. If you want to take classes from me or the 40 plus other instructors there, it's a great time. And the cool thing about it is you get to stay with the same instructor all week. So you get 5 different classes that you take during the day, and you stay with that class all week. So you really have time to really get one-on-one time with the instructor and stuff like that as well. And that is in Shepherdsville, Kentucky. And they do still have plenty of room for people to sign up in my classes as well as pretty much everybody else's. So head on over there and sign up. It'll be a fun time. And if you go and you happen to take either any of the guitar classes or a ukulele class, you might see my husband John and get to hang around with him some as well. Another announcement I wanted to make is every year they do a fundraiser for our local homeschool group. And our daughter is in the homeschool group. And as you probably know, I teach the homeschool kids who are interested. I've been teaching them how to play the mountain dulcimer. We play on cardboard dulcimers, and we're gonna perform at the little open house talent show in a couple of weeks. And we're also gonna be signing up for the following year. But they're having a fundraiser for building rentals, party supplies, art supplies, all kinds of stuff that these homeschool groups need, and we don't get any public funding or anything like that from the state. So, we do depend on these fundraisers, and they're having a raffle, okay? And I've got this down in the description of my video, the Facebook post about it, okay? But if you win, you don't have to be present to win, but if you win, there's all kind of little prizes. And one of them is even a 1-night stay in a cabin in Blue Ridge, Georgia here. That is really nice, and all kind of spa stuff, and they've got all kinds of things. But what I'm doing on top of that is if you will donate $20 or more to this fundraiser, I'll give you 90 days free at my website. So it's like you're paying $20 for 3 months of all access lessons at my website, and either dulcimer, banjo, I've got dulcimer, banjo, and mandolin lessons there. So you really get a lot. And again, that link is down below. If you're already a member, I'll give you something else like ebooks or something else. But yeah, I really would appreciate if you would head on over there, donate any amount, because these kids, they don't get that public school funding, and it's hard to get all these events together for them. So yeah, anyway, let me get back to this. Let's see, what do we got? Lovely summer humidity is playing havoc with stability, flat sharp, flat sharp. Yes, Jane. Just tune every time and mid as needed. Yeah, humidity is terrible for stringed instruments. So you always have to just retune. But once your instrument is in that environment for just a little bit of time, it should stay at that point. Like for instance, you see me playing on the porch all the time, out in the humidity and all that. And I take it in from outside, from that air conditioning, go out, and it only takes a few times of tuning within the first 10 minutes or so, and then it'll be stable. And the banjo is much harder to keep in tune than the dulcimer. It's easier as far as that's concerned with, it doesn't have the head or anything like that. Yep, John says he's looking forward to his guitar classes. Yep, that'll be cool. Jason says, wish I could go, just no time this year. Yeah, carving out a full week to take classes is sometimes hard. I do understand that. Bob Weaver asks, what level are my claw hammer classes? They're multiple level. One of them is a beginner and one of them is an intermediate. So check that out. The website is in the description below this video, and it's also just KentuckyMusicWeek.com. Let's see. So I hope that answers your question there, Bob. One of them is, I can't remember exactly how they're formatted, but one of the banjo classes is how to play in church. So that whole week we will go from like how you would play during the offering, what style of song you would pick for that, how you would perform it. Then if you were to play solo for the church, for a couple of songs, if you have singers, what to do, how to arrange your song with or without singers, with or without other instruments, all that stuff. We're going to get into all of that in that class for sure. But there are two other ones, one other claw hammer and the 2-finger one as well. Lori, hey Lori. KY Dragon 42, Mandy, whereabouts in Kentucky are you? I'm in Louisville. Hey, I'm not in Kentucky, I'm in North Georgia. Well, actually sitting here, I'm in North Carolina at the music shop. Thank you very much, Miss Darla. I'm at Music to My Ears Music Shop, and she has let me kindly rent this room to do this live stream since our internet at home is terrible. But it'll be in Shepherdsville, Kentucky, yes. It's normally in Bardstown, Kentucky, but they had to do it in Shepherdsville. They just had to get a new venue for it. But those towns are close by each other. Alfonso says, I have a bowl-back tater-bug Neapolitan mandolin, that's awesome, that my coworker gave me at work a few months ago. Have a hard time holding the bowl back. Yeah, I can understand that, with it being such a rounded back. I would really, I know you have, I think you're blind if I remember correctly, Alfonso, but you could watch someone who is playing that and have the captions on, and maybe they will describe to you how they're holding it, because I'm not really sure how you would hold that with it being a bowl back like that. Shepherdsville, yes. Jason says he's doing well and he's pew-pewing. How have you been? I hope you've been shooting well. And then KY Dragon asks again about Shepherdsville, Kentucky. Yes, it's in Shepherdsville, Kentucky. Alfonso asks, how do you select music for entrance, offertory, communion, and closing song? Well, Alfonso, that is what is that entire week of class there at Kentucky is going to be about. So I will go over every bit of that at Kentucky Music Week in that class. I don't really have time to do that now, other than to say any hymn can be used for any of those settings. It would change how you would play it and what you would do with it, as far as that's concerned. KY Dragon 42, you live in Shepherdsville. Well, sign up, KentuckyMusicWeek.com. And look, as I said, there's over 40 instructors, okay? So you're gonna find the classes that you're interested in taking. And really, it's gonna be a blast. They've got jam sessions at night, which I'll be attending some of those. There's 2 concerts for the instructors. Me and John will be performing on Tuesday night. and it's just gonna be a blast. Can't wait to see it up there. Let's see. Alfonso says, do you know if A-style mandolin would be easier to hold? I would say an A-style mandolin would be a little bit easier than a bowl back, but obviously, well, not obviously, most expensively, an F-style is the easiest to hold because it's got that little point, and that point just fits right in your leg. But an A-style is nice. What I can recommend to you, actually, Alfonso, is get a strap. A strap, then you don't have to worry about holding it up or it sliding. If you just get a strap, that should take care of that. Jason, about to play all afternoon, banjo, mando, and get fiddle. Yay! Awesome. Do you have other people to play with? I know you're there with your son, so you just gonna play with him, or you got other people to play with? That would be awesome. Lori, hoo-ha. Just got my order from Banjo Lemonade Spring t-shirts. Cool. That's awesome. I need to get some more designs up there, actually. Need to have Amber do one. Well, KY Dragon 42, I hope I can see you there. I'd love to meet you. And again, you know, it's an all-star group of instructors that's going to be there, so it's well worth it. Alfonso says I can't put a strap on my bowl back mandolin. Why not? I would say you could, because you can tie it around the neck, and there should be something at the end. You've got to have an attachment where the strings come on that you could, attach it to something, I would think. Jason says, yep, his buddy Wendell's coming to play. Well, that's awesome. Everybody likes Amber's designs, yay. So our daughter Amber is following in her daddy's footsteps, and she is doing artwork now, and she's doing it part-time, you know, after school and in the summer. She'll be working a lot more in the summer, but she's actually got, I want to say 6 designs already out in print that are really awesome, and they're couturetees.com over there. If you want to know which ones she designed, I've got that all listed over on Facebook in a post, the ones that she did, but we're super proud of that she's starting to get into that and working towards it. Let's see. Yes, your designs are cool too, honey. We love your designs as well. Alfonso says it doesn't have attachment, plus mine is cracking since it's over 100 years old. Well, if you were to get an A-style, I know you could put a strap on it. Bob, hope to see you there. Does anybody have any music related questions? If not, I'm just gonna play some music. Let's see. Yes, Jones, your designs are excellent and cool too. I'm not gonna call you honey. Yeah, don't call him honey. That wouldn't be good. Alfonso says, I know I have straps on my guitar and my banjo. Can you please play me Come Unto Me? At this moment, I can't. We sing that in the choir, but I don't have the sheet on that in my computer at this time. So I can't play that for you right now. I'm sorry. Lori, gonna wear Amber's t-shirt to an upcoming car show. Love them. Jason, play Cluck Old Hen. You and Cluck Old Hen. Let's see more, Lori. You're okay, John. Play that dulcimer. All right, play that dulcimer. Show something bluesy. Okay, let's see. Let's see if we can see it first. Let me move the camera just a smidge. Yeah, there you go. I think you can see that. See, let's get in tune. There's a little ending in D, Jane, that's bluesy. So I know you have the 1.5 fret. So if you have the 1.5 fret, start there. So go 2 1 0. Right? Start there. And then go 1.5 on the middle, and then open. 1.5, 2, 3. And then you put down that 2-finger D there. And then let's see. Wow, lots of questions, you guys. So Jane, bluesy, have you seen my my other little blues lesson that I have on the website? That's not really bluesy, but it's a good little ending. Where you go 5, 6, 6.5, 7. Let's see. That's kind of bluesy where I do. So there, what I'm doing is I'm playing Wildwood Flower. And I'm just going in at the 1.5 down to 2. That's awesome. And then when I end it, right, I'm adding this little fill lick that is a 1.5, 1 pull off. And then you go into the bass string, right? So it's a 1.5, 1 pull off on the middle. And then you go into the bass string at the 1.5, right? So that's a nice little blues fill you can do. Wayfaring Stranger, I see that a couple times. Let's see. Let's see, I've got a couple of different ways to play Wayfaring Stranger. But we like to, in church we'll play it in E minor. But I just did a lesson for DAC where you're droning that is beautiful. So you should check that out if you haven't already seen it. C version too, because I really love the way that sounds. Let's see. Alfonso, this is a diatonic, but it does have a couple of extra frets. It has the 1.5, 8.5, and it would have had the 14.5, but I cut that off to make a scoop. But yeah, this is a diatonic mostly. Woo. I love all the things you can do by retuning. And then there's that nice B part, and I've got a good lesson on this over at the website. So let me just say one more time, down in the description, I've got 2 links. One to Kentucky Music Week, where I'll be teaching from June 25th to June 30th. And I really encourage you, if you have that week free, to check it out. There's going to be over 40 awesome instructors there. And I will be there teaching 3 different banjo classes, 2 claw hammer, 1 2-finger thumb lead, and 1 banjo class. So it's going to be a blast. You should check that out down below in the description. Another thing real quick is, for anybody who's in here late, homeschool. Okay, our homeschool group is doing a fundraiser. And there's baskets, and it's kind of a raffle thing. You don't have to be there to win. So I've got the link down below to check that out. And what I'm offering on top of that, you can win real cool stuff in the local area here, and they'll send it to you. Or if you will donate $20 or more, I'll give you 3 months of all access membership with my website to try that out, okay? So if you want to find out more about that, just check that link in the description. Bye, Jason. Looks like he's left. Buffalo Blue Gals, huh? So back to what Jane was asking about earlier too with the blues. That 1.5 fret, you just use the heck out of that, because that gives you all those wonderful blue notes. You can throw that into anything you play, really. Let's see, where somebody said, what is the name of that? I'm sorry, I don't know what you were talking about the time I was playing there. Sorry. You mean on the dulcimer? I was playing, let's see, Shady Grove. I was playing Buffalo Blue Gals, and I was playing Wayfaring Stranger. You will be 1 block over from my house in Shepherdsville. Oh, that's awesome. 1 block over. Alfonso says, is it possible to play in other keys, or are you limited to playing in 1 key since it's diatonic? Very good question. No, you are not limited to 1 key. First of all, it's tuned to an open D when it's in standard tuning. So it's very friendly to play in the key of D. But even in this tuning, you can just play the chords for your other keys, okay? So if you have a 1.5 fret, you can easily play a C chord, so you could play in the key of G very easily. But there's another thing that's awesome, and that's a capo. So you can capo it and easily play in G at the 3rd fret and A at the 4th fret. And it's the same thing as on any other instrument. You use your same fingering that you already learned for the instrument, right? For that song, you can have it in G or A very easily, or you saw me capoing it earlier when I was playing Wayfaring Stranger to be in the key of E minor there. So yes, and another thing you can do, even though it's mostly diatonic, is you can retune to be in other keys. So people will commonly say you can't play an F on the dulcimer, and that's wrong. You can. You can retune. And by what you're doing is you're using a 1st and a 5th. So you want an open chord, so you use a C and an F. So you would tune C on your bass, F on your middle, and C on your melody, and then you play on the melody line like you would play in DAA. You play that on the melody line, same tabs as DAA, and now you're in the key of F. Easy to play in the key of E, same thing. You know, you just tune a 1st and a 5th. So you can do a lot of things with tunings and with the capo combination as well there. But yes, they do have chromatic dulcimers, and I will be getting one of those this year to play in church, because that makes it a lot quicker than having to retune. I can just slap a capo on anywhere and be in any key just very quickly. Good question though. Let's see, John, we play a lot of D. We do, because it's just, D is a great tuning anyway. Lots of old time songs, fiddle tunes, and hymns were written in the key of D. So D is a very good key to be in anyway. Lori, I love that scoop, no clicking. Yes. Yes, let me show you my scoop real quick. And Pat, if you're still on here, Pat Walker, I hope I told you what the name of the song was that I was playing. If I didn't, maybe you could ask it what time it was, or if I had the capo on and you could see. So there's the scoop. I think you can see it right here. So after the 14th fret, my wonderful husband removed the rest of the frets and made me a scoop. And it just sort of extends this scoop right here, it just sort of extends it for you, and it makes it really nice. But anyway, and Laura says, I love DAC. Me too. And I actually just filmed a lesson that'll be coming out on dulcimer on the relationship. This will be coming out on the website. It's the relationship between the tunings. So you've got DAA, right? You've got DAD, you've got DGD, right? And DGD easily puts you in the key of G, right? It's an open G chord because it's the 1st and the 5th. Like I said, if you tune anything 1st and 5th, then on the dulcimer you've got that key, right? That you can easily play in by playing on the melody line, right? And another cool thing is, like, if you want to play an F, like I said, you could do C, F, C, and then it's just like you're playing in DAA. So your scale would be starting at the 3rd fret. So let me go to DGD real quick. So there's DGD, and now that just puts me nicely in the key of G, okay? So my scale starts there at the 3rd fret, that's the G note. So it goes 3, 4, 5, 6, we skip the 6.5, 7, 8, 9, 10. And we skip the 8.5 if we have that. So it's the same scale as our DAA, and we can play any song we want in the key of G now. So it's really cool. Okay, Pat, I hope I answered you there. You're in Arkansas. Nice. I don't know about y'all where you're at, but here in North Georgia, oh my goodness, the pollen has been horrific this year. I mean, terrible. It's not been fun at all. So anyway, any more music related questions out of anybody? So I hope the lesson that I do have coming out there, that's the relationship between all these tunings, is going to be really good. And I feel like a lot of people have never really talked about this. So at least I've not seen it. So it's really cool. And I want you to not be afraid to retune. Because I get a lot of hesitation from people about not wanting to retune, and I don't understand it. It easily puts you in different keys and things like that. And it's just a very versatile thing to use, different tunings. Let's see, we got a question from Alfonso. I have a cardboard dulcimer that I got at the thrift store for less than $16. Does wood sound better than cardboard? Well, I think that you know the answer to that question already. Yes, of course, wood sounds a lot better than cardboard. Now, cardboard has its place, and I like it. That's what I teach the kids with. And if someone contacts me and isn't sure what they want to do and isn't really sure if they really want to get into the mountain dulcimer or they want to go camping or something like that a lot, I would say get a cardboard dulcimer because they're just fine for that. But obviously wood is going to sound a lot better, yes. John asks, how do you keep all those chord structures in your head playing so many instruments? Well, it's a challenge. One thing is when I retune on the dulcimer, so on the dulcimer, for instance, I know the chords in DAD tuning. I know those chord shapes very, very easily like the back of my hand, right? I just know those. But when I go into DAA tuning, I don't play a lot of chords. I'll play the melody notes of the song. So I don't, if I was backing somebody up in DAA tuning, I would just play my my melody string as my chord. I hope that made sense. But yes, banjo, I know some chord shapes for multiple tunings, and yeah, it is difficult, but it just comes with time and practice, as you know. And yeah, you do kind of get jumbled up in your mind for a minute. But once you play it for a little bit, for instance, I'm going to get, if I don't have more dulcimer questions, I'm going to get my banjo and retune it into double C tuning and capo up. Let's see, that looks like I might have one more dulcimer question. And I'll show you some of that. 55 degrees and foggy. Wow. Jane says, big brain, John. That was funny. Alfonso, do you know if a dulcimer is really a rare musical instrument? A dulcimer costs $10,000 in the Denver metro area since they consider it rare. No, that's fake. Alfonso, that must be a scam. I know of no dulcimer that costs $10,000. You can get a dulcimer for $400 or $500 used. You could get a new one for $600 to $800, $900, something like that. If you're talking about really high quality ones like Folkcraft, you can get one for $800 on Folkcraft and all the way up to over $2,000 depending on what you want to put on it. But there's nothing I've ever seen that's $10,000. That's, I don't know what, maybe Dolly Parton's mountain dulcimer would be $10,000. It would be worth it, but depends on the maker. Yeah, it really does depend on the maker, but not $10,000. I've never ever heard of that. All right, let me move the camera back up just a touch here and retune a little bit. So you're saying the music store in your area in Denver sells a mountain dulcimer for $10,000? Well, I don't know what to say about that. I guess the person they're selling it to has never looked on the internet. That doesn't make sense to me. Unless it was like maybe Gene Ritchie's, and I don't even think a Gene Ritchie would go for that much. So I tuned to double C tuning just now. So what I did, and this is a great old time tuning, sounds beautiful. So all I did was change my B string from a B up to a C, and my D string, the bass D, from a D down to a C, and then we capo it at the second fret to get back into D. Okay, so basically you want to be in the key of D to an open D instead of an open G, which is what the banjo is normally tuned to. Now, if you don't have a capo, you can tune your banjo to A, D, E. Let's see, A, D, E, D, E. And that sounds beautiful. Yes, that's correct. They sell a starter dulcimer for around $10,000. You're saying $10,000? No. Even Blue Lion, the company Blue Lion is out in California. They make dulcimers. They don't cost anywhere near that. I don't know where you're getting your information from, Alfonso. So we're tuned to an open D now, and what's cool about this is if you just know the 1-4-5 shapes of these tunings, you're golden, because that's what most of the songs are in, the 1-4-5, right? So here's my D, there's my G, and there's my A. So I could easily play along with the mountain dulcimer here while I'm strumming openly. And one thing that people sometimes don't understand about the dulcimer and the banjo, for instance, it's not like a guitar. If you strum a guitar with nothing fretted, it sounds terrible. And that's because it's not tuned to a chord. Like a banjo is tuned to a chord, and so is a dulcimer. So they can sound really nice just played open like that. Jane says, Alfonso, Folkcraft will make you personalized online for much less. Your choice of top, backwoods, and stuff. Yes, exactly. Alfonso, if you head to folkcraft.com, you can have them build you a dulcimer, or you can buy one on the shelf for much, much cheaper than that. Most everything I play is Folkcraft, and I love it. And you can call them and make your order if you want, or you can order online and pick all those different selections. It's great. I've been working on Golden Slippers on everything. I love that song. everything in Denver is so expensive. Denver is like New York and LA. Well, you can get it online and they'll ship for free anywhere. Alfonso, folkcraft.com. But yeah, I've been working on golden slippers. And that, I'm using drop thumbing on that. Super fun. But I also want to take a moment as well, since I don't have another question at the moment. And I just want to say thank you to everybody who has really reached out to me with kindness and notes and stuff while I've been rehabbing from surgery. I'm doing better every day, and I'm getting back all my motor skills that was, you know, kind of sketchy for a while, how that was going to be. I have some nerve damage still, and I still have a little bit of pain in the base of my wrist and into my fingers, but it's going away. Like, it's getting a lot better, and my fingers are getting to where they can talk to each other, I guess you would say. They can communicate. Because at first, I couldn't get them really synced. And so that was kind of difficult, but the banjo and dulcimer and all that, they recommended that in my rehab, so, you know, that was awesome. Okay, so let me just show you real quick. If you're in double C tuning and you put your capo on at the 2nd fret, that puts you in D, as I said. So that's an open D there. And your 4 chord is your G, and that is the 2nd fret of your 4th string and your 2nd string. So that's your 4 chord. And then your 5 chord is the 2nd fret of your 3rd string and the 3rd fret of your 1st string. So if you're wanting to learn a song that you've learned, let's say on the banjo in the key of G, and you want to learn to play it in D, you can obviously play it open without retuning and all that. You can do that. But a lot of times people will get in D and stay in D for quite a while and play a lot of songs out of that. So it's good to just retune quickly, then you're in D. As long as you know that 1, 4, and 5, you can do so much. You can find your melody notes out of there real easily too. Please video kids program for us. Hey Jane. Okay, we will. We're gonna play, let me tell you what we're gonna play too. So it's gonna be on June 1st, and it's our open house and talent show, okay? So my kids, I have 10 who are taking them out in dulcimer, and we're gonna play Gray Cat on a Tennessee Farm, yay, and Little Liza Jane. And there's something really cool that I know everybody who's a member of my website is probably tired of me talking about, but it's called Strum Machine. So I have a little speaker, a little Bluetooth speaker, and we play along to that. So it provides our backing, and we play along to it. All of those 10 kids have excellent timing, and they've had it right from the beginning, and that's because from the beginning I had them working with that speaker on Strum Machine, okay? And it's gonna be a blast. So we're gonna play that. I'll get somebody to video it for sure. And we're gonna have a table there so that all the people, you know, can come and sign up for next year as well if they want. So I'm gonna have a table there. I'm gonna bring almost every dulcimer I have there for everybody to look at and talk about. And I've talked to the parents a little bit this year, at the end of this year, about if their kids come back for next year, talking about upgrading to a wooden instrument and how we would do that. and you know, I spent all that time really looking and searching for what I would consider a good beginner instrument. And I say beginner, a good all wood instrument. Any level of person can play it. It doesn't, you know, it doesn't have to be just limited to a beginner player. But I found dulcimers, and I have a video on this, that are extremely inexpensive. $140, plus shipping. And Alfonso, if you're looking for one, $140 plus shipping, and it's at mountainmademusic.com. Now I have the link in that video where I talk about my top 5 choices for inexpensive dulcimers. And that one is the best one as far as I'm concerned out of those options, because it's all wood and it's louder, projects more, you know, than cardboard and that sort of thing. And if you just adjust your bridge height on that, it sounds great, and it's a perfect instrument to start out on. Anyway, Lori says power of prayer. Amen to that. Yes, and I really appreciate that, you guys, because it's been a struggle, and but that's all I'm gonna say about that. And I'm getting better, and I'm doing good. So yeah, I've got about 8 more minutes left. So you tell me if you want me to show you something on banjo or dulcimer or whatever, or if you have a question. Let's see. I guess I'll do a hymn. Let's see. Before you know it. Alright, let's see. I think my capo could possibly be slipping here. It's kind of old. Yes, they stay out of tune. Let me see something here. Say see my, dang it. Just like a blind man wandering along, worries and fears like claim for mine. And like a blind man, God gave back his sight. Praise the Lord, I saw the light. I saw the light, I saw the light. No more darkness, no more night. Now I'm so happy and sorrow inside. Praise the Lord, I saw the light. Okay, now I'm going to play him on the dulcimer real quick. And then we'll shut her down. Let's see. Let's see what we got here. All right. Let me pull up something. It's so funny, I can never remember the name of a song when there we go. It's hilarious. Jesus, keep me near the my time is up here, y'all. I hope you enjoyed that. Let's see. Cheers, where the roses never fade. I have reached my time limit, unfortunately, on the room, so I gotta get out of here. But I really appreciate you watching. If you can, hit that link down below and do a little bit for the kids. I would really appreciate it. And again, I'll give you 3 months membership if you pay $20 or more, okay? So thank you so much for joining me today, and I hope you enjoyed that. And before I go, I always want to remind you that Jesus loves you. Bye-bye, y'all.